morning. Good morning. Peace and blessings to all those that will have a chance to view this presentation I'm about to make, depending on what part of the region of America that you're in, whether it's the East Coast, West Coast, or Central Coast. I pray, God, that everyone is well, everyone is healthy, and everyone is consciously alive. I was inspired this morning here in New York City, in my home in Coney Island, CI. This is for everybody that's listening, but particularly for my people, my community here in Coney Island, Brooklyn, New York, CI. I was inspired this morning because I was listening to information concerning the COVID-19. First of all, I want to reveal something. I and members of my family contracted the COVID-19 virus a few weeks ago. We are all fine. We're in recovery and we're doing well. All praises is due to Almighty God, Allah. But I wanted to talk about, not long, because we need to understand certain things. They are advocating to take the COVID-19 vaccine. That is up to each and every one of you to make that decision on your own. I'm not advocating for it because I don't know all of what I need to know about the vaccine. And of course, black people have a history of being experimented on, and we can't push that aside. We have to look at that. But be very aware that you have to have information. You have to have facts. And as the Honorable Elijah Muhammad always told us, get actual facts before you make a statement, before you make a decision. Now, long before, but let me say this here before I mention what I'm going to say. When I was diagnosed with the COVID, I stayed home, I quarantined. My symptoms were flu-like symptoms. I had low-grade temperatures. I had some hot and cold chills. I had a little cough. But I've had worse flu symptoms than I did with the COVID-19 after I got tested. And I drank hot tea. I took vitamin C, B, E, D, everything. Ginger, lemon and honey, all that. Because that's your immune system. And let me say this here quickly. When I was a little boy, my mother, Carrie Stewart, when I would come in the house and I would put my hands on the pots, and some of y'all remember this as children, I would put my hands getting ready to get me a piece of chicken or getting ready to eat some lima beans and rice. My mother say, don't you go there. Don't you put your hands on there, boy. Go in there and wash your hands. She would tell me, and some of y'all remember this here, my mother would tell me, don't put your hands on your face. Don't put your hands in your mouth. And when you cough, cover your mouth. See, these were policies and procedures that we were supposed to have been doing all along. Now they're telling us, don't put your hand on your face. Don't put your hands in your mouth. Wash your hands. My mother said, wash your hands. Because they understood that disease are carried through those processes. But when I tested positive, my immune system was so strong, so vibrant, that I was able to fight it. Because your body is constantly every day, fighting against the diseases or the viruses that are prevalent all around us. See, you can't take the vaccine. Now, what is the vaccine supposed to do? It's supposed to not make you seriously sick, but it doesn't in no way stop you from getting the COVID vaccine. I mean, the COVID-19 virus. Virus is always here. They've always been here. Syphilis, gonorrhea, those are viruses. Measles, mumps, hepatitis, tuberculosis. As the black people used to say, I got tuberculosis. It's not, it's not a two. But anyway, those viruses are always in and around us. So we're supposed to have a strong immune system. So you can't take the vaccine and not continuously strengthen your body and keep it well, keep it healthy. You can't take the vaccine and go out and eat and drink and use drugs recklessly and then think you're going to be healthy. Okay? Every year, and I'm thinking about doing it this year virtually, I would have a meeting at the public library for black men, because we, black men in particular, black women and black people, and people in general, but black people and black men in particular are dying from different illnesses because we don't take care of ourselves. I would have these meetings to talk about, particularly in during Black History Month, how we should take care of ourselves. We're dying from diabetes. We're dying from kidney failure. We're dying from heart disease. At a young age, young men, you heard Heavy D, Nate Dogg, okay? Our brother Chadwick Boseman, 48 years old. Was he 48? Yeah, he died, okay, from colon cancer. Get your colon cleaned, okay? Get a colonoscopy. Check out yourself. We had Shelton Stewart that died of diabetes and kidney failure. We had Divine Gainey, diabetes, they cut off his legs. I did his eulogy. Okay? His wife, Michelle Duran, sick. These people were sick. They were under 60. My generation also died. I think we have to do a study in Coney Island to find out why all those people died. They were all under, some of them under 40. My brother, Fred, he was under 40. Okay? We had Waddell Parham, Rala, okay? We had Omar Moore, or David Moore, his brother, Divine Understanding. Robert Jordan died. The Moore family, James Moore, Nazarene Moore. These people were under 40. Okay, the whole family died. We had Tyrone Bowman. These were young people, died. Okay? We have to take care of ourselves. We were dying before COVID-19 disproportionately than any other people from these diseases because we are not taking care of ourselves. When I came into the Nation of Islam in the early 60s, they used to have what was called Bear Witness Night. And I could remember, I was about 16 years old. Two brothers came before. I remember one brother, Willie Adex. Willie Adex explained that he had been diagnosed with diabetes. He said the doctors told him that he was very sick. He said he wrote the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and explained to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad what his condition was. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad wrote him back and told him what to do in terms of diet. After he followed those instructions, he went back to the doctor and the doctor told him it was, the diabetes was totally erased from his system. Okay? And there was another brother who came forth. Same thing. Diabetes is the only disease that you can totally wipe from your system through proper diet. Okay? in the nation, we didn't even have funerals. That's right. I thought Muslims didn't die. I literally thought Muslims didn't die because we were so healthy. I only went to 3 funerals in the 10 years, in the first 10 years of my nation. 2 of them was a result of an accident. Young brother was hit by a car. Another brother was, Brother Gary was shot. And there was other brothers. But they were from a result of that, not because of bad health. Okay? Take care of yourself. My wife, Sister Helen, at one point was a part of a initiative called Bohemian Diet. Dick Gregory was the spokesperson. Bohemian Diet was a powdered substance that you took during the day, whether in the morning or the evening, but you ate 1 meal a day. The substance was to restore your nutritional values while you didn't eat during the day, okay? So if you take the vaccine, doesn't mean that you're going to be cured. It's not a cure. Study it. So the Bohemian Diet was, my wife was a distributor, was actually to help you with your nutrition while you ate 1 meal a day. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad always told us to eat 1 meal a day. I knew brothers that ate every other day. I know brothers that ate every 3 days. Look good, skin clear. There's a photo of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I think he was going to have he was going to address a meeting in Atlanta, Georgia, back in the 60s. And it was about 30 to 40 brothers walking through the airport with him. Captain Raymond Sharif, Captain Yusuf Shah, Wallace Muhammad. Some of his other sons was with him, and a whole host of the FOI. And some brothers, it was posted on Facebook. I think it was either Brother Khalil or Brother Jamal Il. And they said, look at these men. Ain't nobody fat there. No fat men. Everybody was lean and clean. You understand? And they were trim. Nobody. Because they were healthy. Okay? I watched, every Saturday morning, I watched Al Sharpton on his National Action Network. Al Sharpton is very thin, very healthy. Very good as a leader. He should be. Because we need to keep our leaders around. But I looked at all the people on the stage with him. Fat. Big stomachs. We got to be more conscious and more responsible to take care of ourselves. So, the point I'm trying to make here, family, America, is that we have to take care of ourselves. We have to be more responsible. Because you can't think you're going to take the coronavirus vaccine and you're going to be healthy. Most of the people that died, majority of them, a large percentage, 98% of the people, or 99%, died as a result of underlying conditions. Okay? Underlying conditions. I lost my first cousin about a month ago. He took himself to the hospital. He wasn't feeling well. He lived in South Carolina. He drove for about he was about 8 miles away from the hospital. No, 8 minutes, excuse me, about 8 minutes from the hospital. And his mother and my mother were sisters. And when he got there, they took him in, they put him on a ventilator. He stayed in there for about 9 days, and he passed. But I didn't know that he had asthma, that he had diabetes, and he had been in a car accident, couple of years ago where his leg was broken, his wrist was fractured, and his body was just messed up. Okay? So it is important that you take care of yourself. He might have survived if his body was stronger, able to fight, because in our bodies, there's constantly different bacteria that's trying to tear our body apart. But the beauty of the body is that it has mechanisms. God is great. Has mechanism to fight against those things. So when you get the flu and you get those hot and cold chills and you sweating, that is your body fighting. And there are forces within and there's forces without that are trying to kill you. Earthquakes, tsunamis, tidal waves, storms. You understand? But so man has to set up things in order to protect himself from the forces of nature. But you have to protect yourself. This book, How to Eat to Live, is really what saved my life. Okay? By the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. You can get it. You can read it. It's basic. Okay? I talked about fasting. We used to fast 3 days. I went on a fast one time, 7 days. I felt good. I was so in tune with nature, I could hear people across the room talking. Okay? Now, some doctors and some supposedly health experts, they're talking about intermediate fasting. Man, we were fasting back in the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s from the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Intermediate fasting? That's a weak man fast. And I'm not saying you shouldn't do it if it can help you, but that's a weak person's fast. Either a fast is a fast is a fast. You don't eat one day till the 24 hours later. That's a fast. Not no, I don't eat all night. You don't eat all night anyway. But that's a way to supplement and that's a way to pacify you to do the real fast. Let me tell you something. Y'all like to quote Malcolm. Let me tell you about Malcolm. Malcolm was a disciplinarian. Y'all quote him based on what he teaches politically, socially, but you'll never talk about his impeccable discipline. Malcolm ate 1 meal a day. Malcolm never even ate in between meals. He never even never chewed gum or dropped a chiclet or a lifesaver in his mouth. When Malcolm was assassinated, they took his body, he was shot in the chest. They opened up his chest cavity, okay? And they said his chest cavity inside was so clean. Malcolm was 39 years old, but he had a chest cavity, an inner body of a man of 25 years old. How to Eat to Live, okay? My oldest daughter, Karina, from the time she was a little girl, she ate good. She didn't eat junk, candy, McDonald's. Oh, we didn't do that. We ate a home-cooked meal. You understand? Bean pies, bean soup, all wholesome, fresh fruits and vegetables. My daughter started using crack cocaine in the 80s. We found her dead on 29th Street in her apartment one morning. Okay? But prior to that, I got a call one day, said, Brother Ron, your daughter fell out on 32nd Street and Merrimack Avenue. And they rushed her to the hospital and they pumped her stomach. And the doctors told her, she said, Daddy, she said, you know what the doctor said? They said, you must have been eating well when you was a child. She said, because your body is clean. Besides the drugs. And that's another thing that's killing us. You can't take the vaccine and go snort some Coke. You understand what I'm saying? Go drink you some Hennessy all day long, eating Chinese food for breakfast. You can't do that. Okay? Yes. So, this virus is going to be around just like all the other viruses that are here. The key is to keep your body healthy and clean. Talking about Coney Island, one of the first seminars that I had at the public library, two of the husband and wife doctors came to my event and they did a presentation. And their office, they have a clinic on West 15th Street. And I asked them about Coney Island. They said, Coney Island, from Stewart Avenue to West 37th Street, from Ocean to Bay, has one of the highest rates of diabetes and one of the highest rates in the Brooklyn area. And we're a small community in the Brooklyn area of kidney failure. And I asked her, I said, why, when you get diabetes, they cut your feet, your toes and your legs? I said, if it's in your blood, how come it ain't cut off your fingers and all that stuff? Even though that does happen, but it's more. She said, because your blood is constantly moving, constantly from head to toe. And that sickness settles down in your legs, in your feet. And it poisons the blood down there. And it begins to spread, so they have to cut it off so it won't go up. So what I'm saying is, the key is to take care of your health, because we got to be around here. Jesus said, I come to give you life in abundance. If he comes to give you life in abundance, that's just not spiritual life, which is very important, but physical life. But you have to follow a plan to keep you healthy. I'm tired of going to funerals where people could have lived. Aside from us being shot and killed by gun violence, which is another illness, okay? We have to take care of our health so we can be around here. I plan to live to be 120. Son, I'm going to be here till 120. Like the 120 lessons. That's my goal. But we have to be more responsible and teach our children how to eat healthy and stick around. So that's my message for today. I don't think I missed anything. So my generation, I remember all of them. This died. Charlie Brown, my childhood friend Ray Brown, died of a heart attack on his job. Okay? I remember Angel Cardona. I remember Mambo. I remember Flacco. These men died of drugs and poor health. You understand? They was my generation. I remember Big L. Carter. Young, these people were young. My brother-in-law, Raheem, you know Raheem, John Alonzo, had a stroke. Okay? Died. I come to give you life in abundance. Spiritually as well as physically. So let us take care of ourselves, eat right, think right, and treat people right, and protect yourself. So I'm going to do like James Brown said, I'm going to hit it and quit it. Peace.